Hi guys, I'm Asif Ali and watching CGHOW video. Today we will make this shield in Unreal Engine 5. So let's start this tutorial. So I have this cool map and let's make a shield effects for this. And also let's start this actually. So I will make a Niagara and let's take empty NS field. Then I will add a fountain here. And first thing I will use a sphere. I'll rename this sphere. And I just need a mesh for that. And in the mesh, I will take sphere, this one. I don't need these things for now. And I just one particle, so I will just take a burst and this will spawn once and live forever. And there's size of mesh, and I'll turn this off, and make this local. So I can just drag it here and see how big it is. It is small. So I'll make it like 10 times bigger. Maybe 12. Yeah, this is perfect. You can make it up or down, but I think this much is enough. Okay, so let's make materials for that for now. So I'll make just a Fresnel for this and nail. And then here's a sphere also. So I'll make this translucent, unlit. You want to use two-sided, you can use, and then Fresnel. So if I connect it directly here, you can see how it works. So basically, I'll take the particle color that will be here, make it white, and this will be multiplied with this. And to add lots of things here, but let's use like this for now. We will change the material later. I will browse this and then use that here. Enable material override, create new material, and just use that here. And you can make the color like oranges or something. So you can see here it's clear. And if you want like interaction edge, you can just do a tap fit, and I'll take a dynamic parameter to change the distance according. Okay. So fade distance, and then invert this, and then add this on the opacity. So I'll just save it again. And when my material is taking time to save, you can hit subscribe if you haven't, because I have lots of tutorials like this. So now you'll notice if I go here and take a dynamic parameter, make it like 10, we will see that edge. We will make it like red. So now you can see those edges, and that already look very nice. Okay, so we can also add Fresnel in it, sorry, a refraction in it if you want. So let's do it. So first we have to search the refraction method and use this index of refraction. This option will enable. And then if you want to use Fresnel, you can use, but I'll use a texture. I'll use in this texture, I'll use aura texture, this one. And if I preview that first, how it's going. First thing, I want to change the tiling, and let's also take a power so there will be more contrast so you can see properly how it is. Then tiling maybe around 4. Yeah, cool. And we can also add a banner, and then are you going to? Then I will multiply this whole thing with the Fresnel, or you can directly use it if you want. or you can use like this. So let's use like this. I will saturate this. Take a lerp. This is 1 and connect this, and this B is actually your refraction value. So I'll just rename this also. Save this. And while saving, subscribe. I'm just asking you again and again because I think you should subscribe so you can see that refraction. Value 0, I'll make it like 1.1, very subtle and looks nice. We can go with this. So the second element I will add in this, I will duplicate this emitter and scale it little bit like 12, let's say 12.5. And let's rename this, change the color for now. So this one is purple, okay? But I will change lots of things. Let's duplicate this. I'll call it M side energy. And what I'll do in this one, I don't need Fresnel actually, and all these things for now. I'll delete. Actually, I needed that texture, but I will use that later. So if I take the texture coordinate and preview that, this is how it visible here. And then you can take the mask. And if I take the green channel, this is, and if I take the red channel, this is. So if you want to repeat that, you can multiply and then take a frac. So if let's say if I multiply it like 4 times, your gradient will will be visible 4 times. And this is faded in one side and sharp from one side. So if you want to make the both side like same, what you can do, you can subtract 0.5 and then take the absolute of this. Cool. And if you want black to turn white, you can do that by inverting it. And then you can use the power if you want, but you can also use power directly here to make the white thinner. Cool. So now let's say this is number of what you can say straps, leaves, number of leaves. Currently it's 4. I'll connect this here. And let's connect this here. So we can check that in instance. So if I save this, and we will make that maybe dynamic parameter when if you need, or we will fix the values in instance material, whatever we like. So I'm just showing you. So if I make the instance of this, and now on the sphere, we have 4, but we can change that like this. So I think 6 or 8 would be great, or maybe 6. Okay. Then we have this power, and we can also take the multiplier. So let's make the parameter default value 2. Let's make the multiplier and then finally a saturate. So I'll call it black. I'll just put the same name so it will be easier to understand. Then let's save it and check. And now here we can use this power and then use this multiplier. So we can make them thinner, and with the multiplier we can make more contrast. So this is the value I'm liking now. Now I want to fade it from the top. So what I'll do, go to material, and I'll take the texture coordinate again, and this time I'll take the green channel. Okay. And then you can multiply these together, or you can take the smooth step after that to control more, even though you can just multiply it and it will work. But I'm just taking a smooth step. Make a parameter of minimum and the maximum. and then add minimum and maximum together, then connect to maximum. So maximum will always be greater than, and default value 0 to 1. Let's save and check how it will work. I have lots of things in my project, that's why it takes time. So now it's fading, but with these values you can work. So if I make this smaller, you can see we can make them sharper like this, and with this power, this is actually the thickness for these. So we have these, and we can also increase number of these if you want. I'll make them like this. We can make it softer. So maybe this much I'm liking, or maybe this much. Now I want to distort these. So for that, now I'll take the texture coordinate and I'll take the aura. And then let's add a panner, pan these, and also texture coordinate, multiply, and I'll take this, make parameter, and this is like tile. So because for the tile we need X and Y, so I'll just make this, and these are the X and Y tile. You can also rename these if you want. So this is X tile and Y tile. And you can set the default values 1 and 1, and you can see the rename here. So this mask is using X and Y. Then finally, we want to distort these UVs and these one also. Actually, you can use the same texture coordinate because it has the same values. Then I will multiply this to control how much I want distort. And currently it's 0. Then I will add this thing to the UVs of my Hall effect. Cool. Everything is clear. Now I will save again. And I'm very close to my output. Then I will use particle color and we will use that inside the Niagara. So now here distort is 0. So we can increase. But see, tiling is friend. So 0.01 from 0.5. And I think I need to increase the tiling. And we can also turn on real time so that like this. And to add more fluidic effect, what you can do is you can take a one more texture, and this time I will take the blur noise like this. And I will use the same panel here, but maybe different speed. And then I will use the same tiling. But after that, I will multiply this. Let's call it distort 2. And I will add this here, distort this noise texture. So I'm distorting noise texture from another noise texture, then using that distorted noise texture to distort my leaves. So I'll just save it. I think it's pretty clear what I'm doing. It looks big, like I'm using lots of nodes, but it's duplicated things. So once you figure out what's happening, you can do that. So now you can see they are just going up, but not fluidic. So if I add little more distortion here, now you can see what's happening. You can make more like this. I think it's pretty clear now, and I'll make this power a little less. This thing. Cool. So let's save this. Actually, we have to do something here. So we will multiply this and connect this here, and we will multiply this and connect this here. And I'll leave all my settings default. I like that. If we want to change, we will change it inside the uh, material instance itself. So we don't need a dynamic parameter for now, I guess. So I will just browse this instance material, and here for the second sphere, I will use that material. And you see the UVs of this sphere is different. So we have to change the sphere. Where's my default sphere? So yeah, this one is right. Now you see how it looks. But in the material, you can increase the alpha if you want, like this much. So this will be more visible like this. And I think the size is little more big. I'll make it 12.05. So it will be almost the same size. And now with the instance material, you see, we can change the number of this. If you want, maybe 5 or 6 or 8. And I want like more. Let me check if I can. I want actually more distortion. Yeah, now it looks much better. Cool. It looks pretty good. And then what you can do, you can again duplicate if you want. But this time I'll go to the instance material and duplicate that also. And that this instance material one I will use here. And let's make this little brighter or darker if you want. Let's say this time is dark and the size of the sphere is little more big. And now you see we have also black, but with the instance material, we can use this minimum value to resolve this. And this will be darker only from bottom. Or if you want to make that brighter, you can also do that. So now we can also make this. So this is just darker from inside. And I think it looks fine. Then we can do something for the center, or we can add some particles also here. So let's say I add one more emitter, and let me just save all first and take the fountain. It has these particles. I don't need velocity for now, no gravity. In the sphere, let's make it 200 or make 400, 500. And only on the surface. And then I need hemisphere, the particle just there. And then we can just make like oranges and random value. Like some are really bright, like this. And if you want to add little color noise, let me delete, close these materials. Little color noise, 50. And I'll animate also. Yeah, little bit. And you can also add vortex if you want. Like at 200, they are rotating like this. But you can use the different axis, random axis. So they will they will move on the surface of a sphere like this. If I turn off the curl noise, you will see they look like they are moving on the surface. Cool. And we can turn on this thing also, maybe 50. I will add the curl noise into it. Cool. Then I'll duplicate this and spawn rate I will decrease maybe 30 and I'll make that purplish. So we have few purple and more oranges. Then you can add something on the ground. You can use the same kind of thing if you want. Let's say, let me check if I have something. I have lots of shapes that we can use here, but like these one, or maybe, let me find actually. I will use this one actually. So I'll just right click, make a material, this one. It's very small texture, but it will work. I'll use the translucent, unlit, two-sided particle color, connect, multiply this. And to grab the alpha from this, what we can do, we can desaturate it or we can add all the channels together. That's the same thing. And if I preview, this will be now black and white because I'm adding channels. Then I'll multiply it again with alpha and connect it here. Save. Browse this and in here I'll duplicate this. And in this one, I don't need sphere or these things. I need bigger particle size, maybe 200. And then I'll make the custom alignment, custom facing vector, and use that material. And then, yeah, and then I'll take a line to mesh orientation. Instead of X, I'll take the Z. So now this is aligned on Z. And I just need like 3 particles. And they should be fade in, fade out. Why is popping? I have said this should not pop, but you can use also the size from 1 to 1.3 like this. And if they are like fighting, you can short what's happening. Let's delete everything. I'll just use once and spawn burst. One particle that will live forever. Cool. Why is showing multiple particles? I don't know. And they should be big, like this much. It still looks like there are lots of particles, but it is single particle. I don't know why it's happening. Oh, this is once. It looks like spawning. Let me check in the viewport. So it's not visible in the viewport, so this should be also local. Let it compile. And let's move this effect little up. Yeah, it is there. So we have to make some offset like 10. Yeah, now it's visible. And it looks fine to me. I will make 1 and 1, maybe alpha 2. And we can rotate that. Or maybe a little. Where is color? So this shield looks cool, I guess. I don't think we need to add more things in it. Let's just keep it simple. And this is it. Thanks for watching. Keep learning and bye bye. Although one thing you can do, you can distort that a little bit so it will be more organic. Let's do it quickly and I'll finish this tutorial. So I'll just take this and I'll take the blur noise, and because this is like a radial, like a ring, so I'll take the vector to radial, connect this here. If I preview this UV, this noise, and there's a seam, remove that, and then add the this texture, and let's also use panel first. 1 2, and then multiply and connect to the UVs of this. If I preview this, and it will be completely distorted, but we can use very little value like 0.2, and for the tiling, multiply to vector, and I'll use 2 and 5. 1 and 2. Looks fine to me. I can save and we can go with this. And after this, because it's touching the edge, we can duplicate this, and we can also duplicate these things, and we can multiply this thing. So it will be masked out with that. It will not go like beyond this. And I'll just save it. And it will have now some organic movement. So it will not be like flat and static. The rotation is on the different side, so we will just make it -5. Cool. We can actually use 3 particles maybe. Why is Z fighting? Even though I'm doing this, I have one solution. You can randomize this. So this is now 10. We can go with like 10 to 12. There is some offset in between the particles and looks fine. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Keep learning. Bye bye.